Welcome to World Domination. Disclaimer: the views expressed in this episode are for comedic effect. They should not be taken as advice, as opinions held by the people saying them, or before bedtime. No whales were harmed in the making of this production, though I can assure you one of them certainly thought about it.
What are we doing tonight?
The same thing we do every night. Try and take over the world.
Are you guys sure you know what you're doing?
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Welcome to World Domination.
That's right. Thank you, Ken.
Welcome to another week of trying to figure out what these idiots are talking about.
Hey.
It's sad you're not wrong. Okay, so, introduce myself. My name is Jim.
My name is Ken.
And I'm Emma.
And we're all idiots.
Well, okay.
And we're your hosts.
The hostess with the mostest.
Hey.
So how does everyone think we did with episode 1, bearing in mind that it's not actually live yet?
Look, I feel like for, a half hour or whatever it was of us just chatting to each other, I thought we did pretty well.
Yeah, I think we did okay.
Yeah, I've listened to it twice, so, pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Oh, also a shout out to our first listener, Deanna. But first guest mention would be her.
Was she first or was Damien first?
I'm pretty sure she was first. She jumped right on that.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure Damien took him like half a day.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He didn't start until the afternoon. He says, knowing that this entire conversation that I'm having will just rile up Deanna. Alright, cool. Now, the next point in the follow-up is, would you make any changes to your plans from the first episode in hindsight?
To my plans.
Yeah. Well, your plan.
Oh,
Look,
your plan-
I've been dreaming about my plan.
So that's a no?
That's a strong no.
Oh, good.
I mean,
no, I don't. I mean, my plan was pretty basic, but I think it stands.
Mm-hmm. And my plan has definitely solidified the creation of Catgirls, so I am going to stick with that one.
Oh, the good thing about your plan is there's definitely like some fan art in there somewhere.
Oh my god. Yes.
Getting on a pile of catgirls.
Should I start
Yeah,
posing
righto.
and uploading pictures of myself so that they can like input me into that fan art?
No. You want to leave the mystery up.
Oh,
You wanna, like, have
let
people
them
draw
guess.
it.
Let them guess.
Yeah.
You're basically Mr. X of this podcast.
All right, and then the last piece of follow-up was, are you guys still cool with doing a 5-episode, air quotes, season, starting from this episode?
Yeah.
Yep, very
Yep.
much so.
Wonderful.
Well, I'd say we should define world domination.
Oh, fuck. Yes, fuck, I forgot about that.
Oh, Jim.
Don't mock me. Okay, so, what did you guys think of when you're thinking of, like, defining that phrase?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question because I think, in my view, world domination is, and it's probably going to make me sound super self-centered, but that it's having a shit ton of power and being at the top.
Yep.
And I guess in a way having people be like fearful of you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if I'm talking about what my my laser death beam idea is, it's kind of, it's not about having a Death Star that destroys planets. It's about
Well, that makes one of us.
it's more about kind of inciting fear and just messing with people.
Okay.
Oh, I sound like a crazy person.
Ooh.
So the
Perfect.
definition that I had written down was a person or group enforcing their power over the world without the opportunity for dissent.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I can say that.
Good definition.
Ken, did you have anything?
Apart from like what you two said, I'm also thinking world domination. Like, I don't necessarily have to have people know that I'm standing on top, as long as what I want and like my visions and like values are like imposed on people without them questioning it.
Okay. So everyone gets a cat girl.
Yes,
So
very
are
much so.
Are you basically Thanos after he does the click and he's just in his garden? Like you know that you've
I
you know
did
that you're in control, but
I
you
did
don't
my
care.
thing. I gave
He-
everyone a cat girl.
He is inevitable.
Yeah, righto. Cool. I can
Okay.
picture it now. I can picture it now.
All right, so with that, we might as well start episode 1. This episode, if you are capable of reading the title of the podcast, is called Laser Death Beam. Now, for some reason, I don't know whether it'll let me put up the Dr. Evil air quotes around the word laser. If it does, I will have put that up to try and indicate that this is not strictly lasers. This is basically any sort of directed energy beam weapon.
And if they're not there, then you couldn't.
Okay, so I actually have 2 ideas. And bear with me on this one. So, I was out to breakfast with Liana's family on the weekend.
Oh.
And Liana's dad was talking about how they were giving PlayStation 4s away to people in prison in Australia. And how he thought that was A, disrespectful to the fact that they were in prison, and B, would give them, the opportunity that they could create a shiv out of it. And I said, hold up, John. Hold up.
John.
You know what else is in a PlayStation 4? A laser.
Hey.
And it's not just any normal laser. It's a blue laser. And you know what you can do with that? Blind people. So, plan number 1, buy a lot of PlayStation 4s. Step 2, pull all of the blue lasers out of the PlayStation 4s. Step 3, point the blue lasers at people's eyes.
Oh my god.
Step 4, blind them. Step 5, world domination.
Just one person at a time, or
Yes.
how many PlayStations are we talking in once? Like, are you blinding one person at a time? Are you just walking through crowds? Like, what are you envisioning?
I'm imagining an elaborate series of drones.
If you go to prison, you could get free PlayStation.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
I like hearing that's where my taxpayer dollars are going.
So you're saying that it's a vicious cycle. So I go to prison, get a PlayStation, try and take over the world, go back to prison, get another PlayStation.
Yeah, but you only get one PlayStation if you go back in. You can't get that whole bit. Oh, unless you blind the prisoners inside who have PlayStations.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I mean. That's where I'm going. Yeah.
It's the perfect plan.
If everybody gets their own PlayStation, just blind one by one. But you got to do it quick. You got to do it quick before they
And
catch
since
on.
they're blind, since they're blind anyway, they don't need their PlayStations.
Yeah, they don't.
This plan is coming together.
Yeah, right? See what I mean? It's the perfect plan. There's no way to stop it.
Look, I don't know how strong are these beams. How strong are these blue lasers?
Strong enough to blind you.
Yeah, but
Not strong enough to do much else.
what's the distance on them?
I don't know, 100 meters or so?
I mean, you could just get sniped.
Yeah, I could.
But it's hard to buy a sniper rifle.
When you're blind.
Yeah, when you're blind.
Not if you're in the police or like in the army. Like as soon as they hear about this guy that's broken out of prison because he's blinding people with PlayStation lasers, like the army's just gonna be down on you
How has no one thought of this is my question.
because the army will sniper you.
Or maybe they have. So, there was this rumor in the early 2000s that Saddam Hussein was buying a whole bunch of PlayStation 2s to try and make them into a supercomputer.
Oh my god.
But maybe this is what he was doing instead.
Oh my god.
And that's where the WMD rumors came from.
Why not both? Maybe
Yeah.
he was making a supercomputer with the CPUs.
And
And
then
then-
using the lasers to blind people.
He was ahead of his time.
Oh my god.
Right.
Why did we get rid of him?
Oh wow.
Look, he had some bad ideas mixed in with that good idea of the supercomputer.
Yeah. I mean, he did have a Quran written in his own blood.
Oh wow.
I feel like that's a lot of
He's
blood.
hardcore.
Yeah, that's pretty boss.
That's a lot of blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did it take him to write?
It took him a couple of months, I think, to donate all the blood.
Oh wow.
Oh, how kind of him to donate blood.
Yeah,
Think
at
of
least
all
it
the
was his own.
with one donation you can save 3 lives.
Mhm.
Imagine how many lives you
Wow.
could have saved rather than writing the Quran.
Yeah, but think of how many people's lives he enriched. I mean, it's just one. It's just his.
It's only one Quran with his blood.
Yeah, so it's just the one life he enriched.
I don't know. It could be in a museum or something, is it?
Oh. Yeah, I wonder how much that thing would go for right now.
What happened to it? Yeah, apparently it's in storage for safekeeping.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. That was a waste of time.
Yeah, that was a waste of time.
Yep, there's no price here.
No, I
Damn
meant
it.
like him taking the time for months to donate all of that blood. And then
Yeah,
it just goes into storage.
yeah, think about that. Checkmate, atheists. The Quran written in my own blood.
Well, here's a question for you though, right? So
Yeah.
so Nikola Tesla, right? There's this mystery around this so-called death ray that he created back in the
Yes.
day. And my question, right, is so he was saying he didn't want to call it a death ray because it's not actually a ray.
hmm
All right, mate. He called it the Teleforce. So he didn't want to call it a ray because it didn't transmit rays as a ray of energy would dissipate in the air. Instead, his invention focused energy along a narrow path which he claimed made it powerful enough to bring down airplanes and kill people instantly. So, Jim, I know you're going to know about this, right? But
I do know about this. I know a lot about this.
he was trying to sell, like I've done my research, right? And so you can jump in at any time. But he was trying to sell it to the Soviets and to the US for, nobody wanted to put money in for it. I wonder why.
That's what he
Um,
said he was doing with it. He was
yeah.
he was trying to pay a hotel bill with it.
My research did show me that he eventually in the end was living in the hotel and saying that, I have actually built it, and then got hit by a car, died. And my question for you that I'm putting out to the team here is that do we think there was any sort of actual plans that are somewhere hidden? Do we think he actually came up with something?
Like, genius as he was, the man was a lunatic at the end of his life. Like, he claimed to have married a pigeon.
Oh, love is love. It's 2019. I
Yeah,
mean, it was.
exactly. We have cat girls now.
Um,
I mean, it wasn't 2019 back then, but
like, the man died poor and alone, apart from his pigeon wife.
Oh,
And just insane. Apparently, all of his documents from the end of his life were seized, and I feel like the fact that we haven't heard anything about it in the 70 years since he died is that there was nothing useful in there. It was all just gibberish.
or it was just too good to be shared with the general public.
I mean, maybe, but
Ooh.
you'd think he would have seen something by now.
maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he
Yeah,
did,
you're
and
right.
then he
Maybe
was
he
just
did.
like, you know what? I'm gonna just act super crazy. I'm gonna pretend to marry this pigeon because this death ray can never make it out into the public.
Okay,
Maybe he
but
came to his senses and just pretended to be crazy. Look, I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just throwing it out there.
Mm,
okay. I mean, I'm with you.
mm. While we're at it, the name Teleforce makes me think of a special forces made of Teletubbies.
Look, I don't know if that's where he was going with it, but I mean, it's an idea.
Writing that down for my next one.
I mean, if you're going just on the root words, the Greek word tele means at a distance. So an army of Teletubbies is fat at a distance.
Yeah, they are.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're,
They're quite round.
they're quite
Yeah.
round.
All right. So what's your other plan?
My other plan, and this is I feel like a real one. This one's a goer.
Wait. Wasn't the PS4 blinding people laser thing
Yeah, yeah.
goer?
That one's a goer, but this
I was
one's a
pretty
real
sold.
goer.
Oh gosh, I can't wait to hear that. This one.
Okay, so you understand that during the Cold War, the US had this system called Star Wars, which was meant to shoot Russian missiles out of the sky as they were coming over the US. So there were two parts of it. One was a plane-based megawatt laser, and the other one was a space-based laser. My plan is to just take the plane-based laser and keep it on the ground, and then threaten to blow up satellites or planes with it. World domination.
Evil.
Yeah, because that way, when they try and blow me up with a plane, I just blow up the plane as it's coming in. Or if they try and nuke me, I blow up the nuke as it's coming in.
Look, I'm not going to proclaim to know a lot about nukes, but I feel like if you blow it up as it's coming towards you, it's still probably going to have an effect on you.
True, but maybe if I can hit it from far enough away. Yeah.
Okay.
With Teleportation.
Teletubbies.
Telly means
Tinky
far
Winky,
away.
go!
Fritz, we are out of laser. Load in the Teletubbies.
Look, you're all right.
This was pretty foolproof.
I like this one. I like this plan. So,
Hmm.
I hold the world hostage, threaten to shoot down satellites and planes and missiles if they try that, unless they give me what I want.
And what do you want, Jim?
The world.
The world.
The world is mine.
Okay.
Wait, what if we attack you from underground?
See, this is the main flaw in my plan. Lasers don't deal well with ground.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been foiled.
I've been foiled
Yes.
by it. And funnily enough, the Russians might have something to combat this. So I was listening to this like mini documentary the other day about this program that the Russians had in the 60s and 70s called terrains. So submarines, but they go through rock.
Ooh.
So it's a nuclear powered drill that boils the rock in front of it and then drills through the earth like a submarine, but through rock.
Is this basically like that gold member thing? Isn't he come
Yeah.
through?
Yeah, but
Yep.
this was an actual thing. So like that's my only weakness is rock submarines and rock lobsters.
which are a thing. So okay.
Yeah, we have giant tunneling machines.
So I've pointed out the flaw in my own plan. So what I'm saying is I need to keep it on the plane.
Interesting.
I need to keep it on that plane, and then I need to shoot down anything that tries to hit me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I like this plan. I'm sold. Done.
And if all else fails and you get taken to prison, Jim,
I can get a
got-
PS4.
you get the PS4 plan to fall back on.
Plan
I like
B.
it. I like it.
PS4.
Plan B.
All right, who's next?
So I just realized that I have the same. My plan has the same flaw as your plan.
It's vulnerable to underground submarines.
Yes, very much so.
Aren't all plans?
The best laid plans of mice and submarines.
My plan was to, so assuming I had unlimited resources to create damaging lasers that can like melt through things, I would create a TP of lasers around myself.
Ooh.
Yep, and then slowly this TP of lasers would slowly move outwards and take up more and more land. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, it's like at some point it's gonna meet the curvature of the Earth, and then I'll deploy like mirror structures to like shoot them outwards, and then they'll bounce off the mirror and then go back down inwards, and then eventually I'll take over the whole world by wrapping it around in laser.
Ken, what if you get lonely?
Like, I'm hoping someone would come in. Like, I'll let people in.
But if your TP is only big enough for one person, and then it just destroys everything in front of it, like how are you going to get somebody in?
Yeah, that was my question. If the TP is just around you and then it expands out, it's just going to be you in an ever increasingly large space.
Oh god, I haven't thought this over.
You're going to get mad lonely.
Oh,
There is one way you could get more people in there. Rock submarine.
a rock submarine. Yes, the flaw in my plan has become an opportunity.
So maybe they're not drilling to destroy you, Ken. They're drilling to keep you company
To save you.
from yourself.
Yes. Okay. Well, I guess if
I like your plan, Ken.
yeah.
I like your plan because basically it's you're not trying to take over the world. You're just trying to you're just trying to take over where you live.
Yes.
It's great.
Yep.
I feel like your mum would be more annoyed with this than anybody else.
Yeah.
Should probably be first to go though.
Yeah, assumedly.
Yeah. I should probably tell her before I deploy the lasers. I mean,
Yeah.
the death beam.
Well, I mean, if you want world domination and you're building your TP just for yourself, Ken, it sounds like you don't really want your mum around. So sounds like you don't want anyone around.
I'm gonna hope she doesn't listen to this podcast because I might get in some trouble.
Alright.
Yeah, but when all else fails, my other plan was to basically have a really strong laser, and then anyone I don't like, I'll shoot out like a mirror or a crystal, and then point that laser at it, and then it'll like shoot directly at that person and kill them. I mean, melt them. Killing is like, M-rated. This is a PG podcast. Melting them.
Oh, is it?
Fuck no, it's not, Ken.
Oh God, damn it.
Fuck.
No,
Fuck no.
no, you need to bleep out 2 of those. We're only allowed one
No,
F-bomb.
no.
We're
No,
only
we
allowed
decided
one.
we decided we're not bleeping anymore.
Oh, God
It's
damn
too
it.
much. It's too much work. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Ah, God damn it.
The good thing about like our 3 plans so far is that none of them have like a parallel in movies. Like I haven't seen like an obvious like, like this plan is in like a movie or anything like that.
Wait till you hear mine.
Oh God.
Is yours have a nerd build a Death Star for you, like the Tenacious D song?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's Plan B. Plan B.
Okay. What's your plan, Emma?
So stay with me here, right?
All right.
I'm thinking that basically, how do we just scare people that they just basically follow me?
Oh
And
my
that
God.
I rule because of that. So what I'm thinking, right, is that, you've got these youths going to bloody raves and to discos and to whatever else they're going to these days. Do you know what is at all of these?
Pills.
And lasers.
Oh, of course, yes.
And
The topic of
lasers.
our
The
conversation.
topic of our conversation. However, I will be also relying on pills. So basically, what I'm thinking is that just you can get a whole bunch of people all at once by just turning some of these lasers into like laser beams of death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I
my
will
God.
be getting a nerd to help me with this because I don't know how to do it. But essentially, and then because they're hopped up on pills, if you see your friend go down, you'll just be like, oh man, that guy's having a trip of a lifetime.
Oh my God.
Dude, did you see what happened to Gavin?
Yeah, fucking Gavin's dead, mate, but he's too high that he doesn't know. And then that's why, and then they all stay in there. And then, if you target a whole bunch of different places all at the one time around the world,
Mm-hmm.
there goes a whole bunch of people.
Gavin's fucking blazed, man.
Sorry, Gav. But then where I'm planning on living, right, is
Yeah.
under the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And what's going to protect, because then I don't really have to fucking worry about your bloody rock submarines.
Yeah, just regular submarines.
Just regular submarine.
Regular submarines. But what I'm going to have is sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. And a whole bunch of other shit like that. And just attacking everything in sight.
I'm surprised none of us came up with that as their primary plan, as sharks with laser beams attached to their heads.
I mean, it's definitely part of my plan.
Yeah,
That's what's
that
going
is
to
true.
protect me afterwards.
It's all encompassing.
So you're murdering all the youths at music festivals and then retreating to your undersea lair with sharks with laser beams attached to their heads.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I like this plan.
And then when that fails, I will get somebody to build me a Death Star that will basically be exactly like the one in Star Wars, and it will just destroy worlds. I'd say let's go ask the people of Alderaan how that worked out for them, but they're all dead, so I think it's a top plan.
Now that you've prompted with Star Wars, I have a fan letter right here. About our they were in the advanced screening and they've wanted to comment on our laser plans. And her comment was, listen, in Star Wars, they built basically an entire moon-sized death weapon to destroy worlds with lasers. And the Death Star was destroyed like 3 times, basically with tiny flaws. There's no possible way you could do that without someone noticing. It's completely impractical. Genuinely, what are the benefits and even the slight plausibilities to make this an effective plan? So,
Yeah, well, she hasn't heard my fucking PlayStation plan yet, has she?
oh, that was from Deanna, who is currently in Europe.
Somewhere in Europe, who knows
Somewhere
where.
in Europe, I don't know.
Look, I feel like Death Star needs to be like part, at least 6 of a plan. You've got to have like steps in progress beforehand that you're going to be able to protect yourself while you're doing and building this thing? Like you don't just go straight up, yeah, I'm going to build a Death Star. Because then people will be like, well, what the fuck are you building up there? I'm going to come destroy it with my spaceship.
The good thing about the Death Star plan is that it is truly the most invulnerable to ground submarines.
I mean, yeah, but then you got spaceships, the Millennium Falcon.
That is true. Space submarines.
Fucking Han Solo coming with his pistol. Like, he...
You know, I feel like that's the only one of our plans that's even close to like a movie plot, because obviously it is a movie plot. I don't know. Your other one reminds me of the plot of Kingsman, the second one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Golden Circle?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The second one.
Yeah. Just get everybody to do drugs. And lace the drugs. You
And
know
then
what?
kill them.
No, I take it back. She has a pretty fucking sweet life on that island. I'd do that.
Yeah, but in terms of Emma's plan, my only, I think it's very, like, it's all encompassing. There's many laser contraptions right there.
Yeah, there's a lot more like
Yeah.
different types of lasers in your
Yeah,
plan, and
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, my only query is like the first bit. It's very specific. There's only one demographic that you're damaging.
Yeah, it makes me feel like you have something against
Yeah,
like
against-
youths.
Yeah.
The youths.
The youths.
Have you ever been to Bella Vista Hotel and seen how old the people there are? There are
I
places
have
where there are
not.
old people. We'll get
Ooh.
them too. Don't you worry.
Should we go sometime?
So wait, your plan is like Soundwave and the Bella Vista Hotel.
No, I'm just using it as an example that we would know. There are places, I mean, there's cougars that go out, all right? Let's destroy them. We don't need them. Like, nobody needs that. And nobody needs those old gross men that try and pick you up in the clubs too and like, hey, sweetheart, you want a drink? No, I don't. Here's my laser.
Who's
Like-
a laser?
No.
Okay, so should we go through to the voting?
Yep.
Okay, so like out of the three of us, I think Emma's has the most chance of success.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Look, Mum, I'm
Emma?
winning.
What, how do you feel you went, Emma, or who do you think won?
Look,
Or has the most chance of success, rather?
I do feel like I probably have the most chance of success, but I do like Ken's idea, but both of them are foiled by going underground.
No. Mine
But I
was improved by underground submarines because I get friends afterwards.
No, I feel like they're just going to kill you, Ken. They're not coming to be friends. They're coming to kill you.
Underground submarines improve my plan. That's how I get out of prison.
Oh my god. No. It improves your first plan, but not your second plan.
Yeah. Step 1, get arrested. Step 2, go into prison. Step 3, get my PlayStation. Step 4, underground submarine rescues me from prison. Repeat.
Look, I feel like both of your plans make it seem very lonely for you.
Oh, so lonely.
What makes you think I don't have an army of minions? Who do you think's manning the submarine? Ken's manning the submarine.
Yes, I got the submarine. I got this, guys.
I'm all about working as a team and being around other people.
I mean, you've got that nerd building the laser for you, so assuming he doesn't or she doesn't take over and coup you, then you're good.
Oh, they won't. And if we're in the same world here, where I still have my Mind Stone, I'm sweet.
Oh, wait, is that how we're doing this? We're doing it cumulative.
Oh no!
So you
No,
have
we're
all
not.
of the powers.
No, we're not. But I'm just, you know, if it does happen to be the same world
Yep.
and during while maybe it's under the sea. Maybe that's where I find the Mind Stone. But speaking of like working as teams and that sort of thing, I was doing some research before, and I found that there's actually this old legend with the ancient Greeks when Archimedes, who is a Greek scientist and engineer, supposedly he got a group of soldiers to get their shields together and use the sunlight as a beam to destroy ships.
Wow.
So apparently, you know, it's an old legend and that sort of thing. So I think they actually ended up doing it on an episode of Mythbusters. And,
Yeah, they did. I was just about to find
Yeah.
a link to that.
And they said it didn't work. However, there was some nerds at MIT that tried it and said that it does. So whether we trust MIT nerds or Mythbusters. But I thought that was actually pretty cool. And I feel like, if you've ever had the magnifying glass in the sun and like ants or like leaves and things like that.
Leaves. Leaves for me. No ants. Oh, that's
Look,
so mean.
my world domination started young, Ken.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
so it's like, well, actually, or if you use your watch with the sunlight and that sort of thing, back at school when you kind of used to shine it in people's eyes and that sort of thing. So I feel like there's some sort of,
Why would you need to do that when you have PlayStation lasers? Gosh.
in high school, I didn't have a PlayStation laser.
PlayStation lasers are a much more efficient way of blinding
But
people.
I'm just saying, this was like on the fly back when you're 15, 16, maybe even 28, just, you don't have your PlayStation laser with you. And I'm not made of money.
Maybe you
I have
don't.
one PlayStation. I don't want to use it to steal, I don't want to take the laser out of it.
This is why you go digital. That way you've got, a spare laser handy.
Look, yeah, right. But I thought that was interesting that back then, like 2000 years ago, whether it's true or not, it seems pretty plausible that depends on your idea of what a beam or whatever it is. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked it. Any more thoughts?
My plan wins, I think.
Yeah, I think we've decided that your plan wins.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Congratulations, Emma. You're the first champion.
Yes!
Reigning champion until we hold another episode.
Uh,
And you'll forever have that title.
Success!
in terms of unnecessary complexity, that one definitely goes to Jim's PlayStation laser blinding people plan. That is unnecessarily complex.
I mean,
And most unlikely to succeed.
he's really going all out, though.
But if it does, then it's gonna be the most amazing thing ever.
And it's the most long drawn out plan too. It's not just a one day. It's just going to all happen. It's no, Jim's
Exactly.
one by one.
Yep. He needs to get tried, and then he gets to get thrown in prison. Then he needs to steal get a PlayStation, get assigned a PlayStation.
Judge can't sentence me if he can't see me.
Oh my god.
But he needs to sentence you in order to get the first PlayStation, Jim.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. The second judge can't sentence me. Wait, no, that's part of my plan to get back in.
You need to get back in.
But the question here is, right, what crime? I'm going to assume that they're not giving max detention people PlayStations. We're talking minimum security. That you have to have the perfect crime that's going to get you into the correct prison that you want to be in.
I have it. You ready? Shoplifting a PlayStation 4.
You know what? I can't. Yeah. You got it.
Foolproof!
Oh my god. And if you don't get caught, you get a PlayStation. So
But look, no. Okay, hey, look. If I'm working in the criminal justice scene or whatever it is, I wouldn't. If I knew that you were in there for stealing a PlayStation, I'm not going to give you one.
But that's what I wanted.
But I'm not going to give you one.
I was willing to risk it all.
those are not the rules, Emma. He gets a PlayStation if he goes in prison.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying that it'll be nah, man. This guy is in here for stealing a PlayStation.
I will also accept an Xbox One. Those also have blue lasers in them.
Whoa. Don't give that away. They won't give you an Xbox One if they hear this podcast.
I will also accept a Blu-ray player.
Okay. God damn it, you're running out of options, Jim.
I'm sorry, are you after Blu-rays? Is that what- Oh, wow.
I feel like that was a good one. I liked it. I have one more idea. So why don't we go through a kind of a list of movies with the big dumb laser, and we'll go through thumbs up or thumbs down for their plan.
Ooh, yes.
Okay. So I have a list of 8 here. And the first one on my list is Man of Steel. Yay or nay?
Man of Steel, so his laser eyes?
No, the big laser that they shoot through the core of the planet to make it heavier somehow.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fucking dumb.
Yeah, that was stupid as fuck.
I feel like it was more of a nuisance, really.
Yeah,
It was just annoying and it was in the way.
why would Zod want to take, the idea was Zod wanted to terraform Earth into Krypton. But why would he want to take away his superpowers?
Oh, you're right. Since he's a superhuman on Earth, then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why would you want to take that away?
Why have I never thought of that? What an idiot.
Yeah. He was a god.
Wouldn't you just come and just dominate world? All you need to do is get rid of Superman.
Yeah.
But was this before or after he got used to the Earth, like the atmosphere and everything? Because you know how like when they just come in, they needed to get used to it before their like supervision, everything sort of like concentrates.
It was after.
Yeah, it was after. It was after, and it was like, yeah, because remember they had that huge fight when they were throwing all the tanks and whatever it was at each other. Like, you're totally right. All they needed to do, they had already like through the TVs. There's another idea, right? Scared people by being like, return him to us and all this kind of stuff. So everybody's already like, well, how the fuck are they doing this? All he needed to do was kill Superman. And then you just come in and, oh, hello, God.
He's a fucking farmer.
He's a fucking good looking farmer, though. Damn, Clark Kent.
Okay. Avengers. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Avengers 1, like where he shoots the laser into the sky to open the portal.
Look, that's a pretty good one. He's opening a portal.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good
Yeah,
plan.
Pretty good
yeah.
He's opening a
the
portal.
and everything's
He's getting an
coming
army.
through. Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Yep.
that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
B
Yep,
plus, Loki.
And also, though, like, I mean, Tony Stark was having PTSD for, like, however many years after that. Like,
Yeah.
it was a pretty good plan.
Would
Yeah.
you say they took over the world with a laser though, or was it like that gigantic army that came through?
It was through the aid of lasers.
I
So
guess,
I feel
yeah.
like it counts.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like it counts.
Yep.
Next one on my list is Independence Day.
I need a quick rundown. I haven't seen it.
Alien ships go into orbit around Earth, take positions over all of our major cities, and then blow them up.
But is that just they're just blowing them up, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
They-
this is right. This is the kind of the same sort of idea that I had. If you do everything all at once, do you know what I mean? Like they can't they can't rally.
Yeah. From memory, in Independence Day, there's 12 ships, and they all move into position around the world into like the 12 biggest cities, and then blow up the 12 biggest cities, and then they move to the next 12 biggest cities the next day, and then like do them, and then like so on.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's a pretty good plan. And I think that's that's the thing I think with human nature is that if one thing happens somewhere, all the other countries go and try and rally around. But if you're attacking 12 countries at once, nobody's gonna like if Australia was attacked and so was like America or something like that or wherever, or maybe one of our closer allies, we're not going to go over there and help them because we need our own people here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fair.
I think it's a really good idea.
You're also taking out like the most populated areas, therefore there'll be like less people to do anything with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's like Thanos' plan with more
Yeah.
steps.
I like the Independence Day. I feel like is a good plan.
Yeah.
All right. Next one I have on my list is Star Trek from 2009, the one where fucking Eric Banner takes a mining ship to Vulcan, punches a hole down into the core of the planet with a laser, and then throws a black hole into the middle of it.
Where the hell did he get a black hole from? I don't think
From
I've seen this one.
from Future Spock, of course.
Oh, of course he did. Right. Thanks,
If I-
future Spock.
If I had a portable black hole and a laser that can punch down to the core of a planet, I don't think I'd use them like that.
Yeah, why do you need to punch a core down to the hole of the planet when you can just throw a black hole at the planet?
Exactly.
The laser was really superfluous.
Look, yeah, step one probably didn't need. Look,
Just wasting time and effort. Just
Yeah, I think in that situation, having not seen it and just going off of what you've said, I think the laser was not needed. So I think that's a shit plan. That's a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Next one on my list is the Thor trilogy. So, and by the laser in this, I'm imagining the Bifrost as a way of transmitting your soldiers to anywhere in the universe.
Yeah,
That
it's pretty
thing
dope.
is amazing.
Pretty sure it saved the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
And they was then able to warn everybody that Thanos was coming.
Yeah,
And
that
even
lot of
when
good
it-
that did him.
Even when it went wrong, it gave us Thor Ragnarok. So
That is true. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm all
Bifrost
for
is a
that
plus.
one. Bifrost, yes, please.
All right.
Chris Hemsworth, yes, please.
Next one on my list is Star Wars, and we kind of discussed this already. But like, is the Death Star a good idea?
Oh, if you can build it,
He will come.
build it without people noticing. You can build it there. He will come.
Who is he?
Shoeless Joe Jackson, of course.
If you build it, they will come.
He will come.
Yes.
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Okay, sorry. Go on.
But yeah, no, pretty great. Like
Yeah.
as a big government entity building like the Empire, like building a giant Death Star and then using it to basically threaten people. They're not, it's a great way to take over the world.
Empire did nothing wrong.
Didn't they? Look, I think it's a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
But as we read from that fan mail that we had in earlier that Ken kindly read out for us, like I do think that there's some more steps. I think the way that it was done in the movie was not good, but I think the idea in general could be good, if that makes sense. Like I
feel like if you were to just tally it up, the Death Star has destroyed 2 planets and 2 Death Stars have been destroyed. So I feel like it's a wash.
Ooh.
Take that, D.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a plausible and good plan. I just think that they probably didn't think it out properly. But I mean, where else are you going to find the space to build a Death Star that's not in space? So
Or was it that fucking what's his name, Jyn Erso's dad, secretly put in that amazing back door that's a 1 meter square that you can shoot a torpedo in to blow it up?
look, yeah, planning.
That's poor planning right there. Who signed off on that? Like, come on, this is like basic middle management. Like, review your staff's work. Like, honest to God.
Yeah, there should be a verification process and an internal audit to make sure things go well.
This was a multi-trillion-dollar project. You don't think anybody checked his work?
Well, I mean, isn't that the same as like when Finn was like, just go through the rubbish compactor or whatever it was? Isn't there a thing with, yeah, and he's like, I know that, or is that in the earlier ones? I can't remember.
That's in the original one.
The original, yeah. Like going through just why? You don't need rubbish on there. People just take your rubbish with you.
Just blow it up with your laser.
Just blow it up. Like there shouldn't be rubbish. They should go build it and then leave. Like just, ugh.
All right. The last one I have on my list, and this is compounded by the fact that I have not a fucking clue what they were trying to do with their laser, is Suicide Squad.
Oh, is this the
witch that was shooting the blue laser? Like, what on earth was she doing?
She just fucking shit up.
I only remember her dancing.
Yeah, Cara Delevingne is a weird lady.
Nah.
Thumbs
Not
down?
feeling that one. Thumbs down.
Oh, I skipped one. The last one I had on my list was Iron Man, like when he blows up Jeff Bridges with the laser on the roof.
Jeff Bridges.
Trying to remember that one.
The bald guy with the big Iron Man suit.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're both on the roof, and they fire the big blue laser up through Jeff Bridges.
Look.
I thought that was the like the large scale arc reactor, like.
Yeah, but it's like a
Yeah.
big blue laser that shoots up into the sky, so I counted it.
Look.
I
That
feel like
was-
that's a neutral for me on that one.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
a lot. Like that was used as a large explosion essentially, and didn't have much.
I don't think it had much more of a plan than killing him, really. So, I no.
Yeah, it gets an from me.
Yeah, it gets an from me as well.
Did we say Star Trek was good or bad? Star Wars.
Star Wars was.
Look, I'd say
good.
let's give it a thumbs up, but
Yeah,
it
thumbs up.
needs improvement needed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got 4 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down, and 1 So I think, movies with big dumb lasers doing okay.
Doing all right.
But then you got to think about, right, if we're going down lasers in a different path, when you think about the classic James Bond films, when you're strapped to a table and you got a laser
Pointed at your dick.
coming at you that way, the single sweat dropping down your face. Like, I feel like what's our thoughts on lasers in that regard? Because I feel like that's
Just an aside on that movie. The sweat in that scene was real. The way they did the effect was there was a welder underneath the table who couldn't see where he was welding.
Oh.
wow. Yeah,
Wow.
sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Movie magic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Um,
Any other movies you can think of that have like big dumb lasers in them?
Tron.
Tron has
It's
a
not
laser in it?
It's not a weaponized one, but it's like the digital teleporter one.
Oh, the
Yeah.
digitizer, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Recognizer. Is that what they call it? I can't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't made to blow up planets or anything like that, but it was to teleport living matter.
Okay.
And oh no, hold on, wait. No, not to blow up planets or teleport living matter, but rather to conduct experiments in thermonuclear fusion.
Cool. Oh, it's inertial confinement fusion. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we were still talking about the Tron movie, and I was wondering why they had a fusion laser there. Anyway, that brings me to my last point, and which I'll probably put in the show notes. So there's a fantastic XKCD What If article where he asked what would happen if everybody in the world pointed a laser pointer at the moon. And basically, the short answer is nothing would happen because there's not enough power if 5 billion people had laser pointers to even light up the moon a tiny bit. But then he asks, what if we gave it more power? And so on. And it ends up with 5 trillion of those inertial confinement fusion lasers pointing at the moon to see what would happen.
Yeah, righto.
The short answer is, actually, no, I'll let you find out. It's a fun article.
No, you can just give me the clip notes now. That's fine.
Bad things happen is the short answer.
bad things happen. Gotcha.
Well, that was fun, guys. Thanks for recording with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think, how should we sign this off?
Potential sponsors. Everyone, Vivid Sydney 2019 is here.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're talking about lasers today, I feel like you should go and see the light show. It's open between May 24th to June 15th. So get in while it's still there.
Did you actually get some fucking money from like...
I did not.
Jeez.
This episode is sponsored by Sony. Sony, your one-stop shop for laser needs. Sony, if you are listening, I am open to sponsorships.
PS5.
Yeah, I'll happily take a PS5 if you let me turn it into a laser death weapon.
Look, they probably would have given you one until you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Don't make your PS5 into a laser death weapon. Use your PS4 because the PS5 has backwards compatibility.
Ooh, I can already see the YouTube thumbnail now.
God. Oh, man.
This episode brought to you by Gladys Berejiklian. Gladys Berejiklian, helping Emma carry out her plans by letting the kids take as many fucking pills as they want.
Thanks, Gladys. Good looking out. All right, how do we want to sign this off?
Thanks for listening to World Domination. You can find our show notes or leave us a voice message at anchor.fm/World Domination. Consider yourself dominated.
Are we?